My favorite time of year is almost here. Of course, I'm talking about the fourth quarter when our print-on-demand sales really accelerate. And I wanted to take an opportunity to talk about some of the highest profit margin print-on-demand products that I'm going to be selling this fourth quarter. So let's get right into it. I'm here on Printify in their catalog, and I'm looking specifically at ornaments because Christmas ornaments sell year-round. And maybe they're not Christmas ornaments if they're selling outside of Christmas, but I know in the fourth quarter, they sell like gangbusters. Now, if you've never looked, go ahead, sign up for Printify for free. I'll put my link in the description. They've got ceramic ornaments in multiple shapes. They've got metal ornaments, wooden ornaments, glass ornaments. Did we say acrylic ornaments? I think we did. They've got pewter snowflake ornaments, Christmas ball ornaments. They've got custom cut acrylic ornaments. So there is a ton of different ways to attack selling ornaments in the fourth quarter. When it comes to price point, a lot of them can be fulfilled for less than $5. Now, I'm going to tell you basically my first strategy, my first starting strategy, because of course you can sell different types of ornaments. I wouldn't talk you out of doing it. And with Printify, it's so easy. But I'm going to look specifically at this metal ornament that starts at $3.37 fulfillment here in Printify. And it's fulfilled by Pick the Gift, which has a 9.5 rating, and it ships from the United States. A lot of things to like there. The first thing I want to do though is I want to look at Amazon, which I have already done here. I went to Amazon, I searched for funny ornament, and because I have the Merch Dominator Chrome extension, I have the ability to sort right here by BSR or bestseller rank and look at what the best selling products are, something Amazon does not do for us. Even though that data point is available, you would have to click on each individual listing just to see it, whereas here, Merch Dominator has scrolled through 7 pages of results and put them in order from bestseller to worst seller. So the first ornament is a raccoon theme. He's dressed up in Christmas lights and he's throwing up the raccoon, rock hands. The next one is a snowman, snow woman. It says, "I'm sexy and I snow it," wearing lingerie. Next one is dumpster fire and it says 2025, everything is fine. The next one is a snowman farting and it says, "How snowflakes are really made." We have another dumpster fire. So 2 of the top 5 are dumpster fires. Hey, I would make a note of that. The next one's Bigfoot and it's got that like stained glass window theme. By the way, guys, exactly how I would sell this is I would be making a list of the niches and then I would be probably using AI as a shortcut to create some really high quality designs that I would then be selling on the metal ornaments. Don't think that we have to try to compete directly with the custom cut raccoon here or the, I don't know if that's actually a glass ornament or not. I'm not even worried about it. If I have the most profit in my metal ornament at $3.37 with Printify Premium, that's what I'm going to be selling. For this, I'm just looking at keyword research to get in front of the right customers. And my top priority would probably be the dumpster fire, since 2 of the top 5 are dumpster fire themed here on Amazon. And I can scroll and scroll and scroll and see a ton, really endless results. It looks like the Jesus, I saw that. Funny ornament is also very popular. Here's a UFO with a stained glass window. And I know I saw that when I was prepping for this video over here on Etsy. I also wanted to show you guys over here. So that was Merch Dominator to expedite Amazon research. Well, on Etsy, you can use the Everbee Chrome extension and perform very similar research. So instead of looking at the products that were returned on Etsy, I went to product analytics here on Everbee, which you can get to on the left-hand side if you have the Chrome extension installed. And then what I did is I clicked the Everbee database with over 130 million product listings to query. And I looked up funny Christmas ornament. And then I went to the filters, which are not open by default. So you can get to the filters right here. And I said, make sure that these listings include the word ornament and exclude the word SVG, because I didn't want to have to sort through digital download products, So it looks like here oh yeah, and then I also sorted by all-time sales, and I changed the time frame here from last month, which is the default, to all time. Now we're looking at, and the reason I did that is because we're not currently in Christmas, so I'm getting data based on, August, September, right? That's not the best way to research for Christmas ornaments. So you've got the Pickles Cage, so instead of Nicolas Cage, Pickles Cage, D's, and then a peanut ornament. This is the skin of a killer Bella. The next one is another Nicolas Cage, St. Nicholas with his face. I mean, there's probably a little bit of infringement going on there, guys. So just always make sure that you're protecting your account. I personally don't recommend. I won't be selling any Nicolas Cage stuff on Etsy just to keep my account safe. Family custom ornament there with the gingerbread family. The next one, a dumpster fire there, except this dumpster is pink. A wooden ornament here, and they've got the 2024 mock-up. I'm surprised they haven't updated their listing for 2025. By the way, anybody watching this, go back in time to your best sellers and update 2024 to 2025. If you haven't done that already, you're gonna need to update your mock-ups and your SEO. Tiny gnomes, another 2020 themed with the toilet paper and whatnot. So we sorted by all-time sales. What we might want to do is actually go in here and sort by the last 24 months, so the last 2 years. Let's see how that changed the results. We still got some similar ones up top. Personalized penis snowflake. I did type the word funny in, by the way, if you're wondering. Gas, it says gas money, and it says it actually holds money, or at least I thought I saw one. Yeah, this one says it actually holds money. So the gas money ornament, I guess when gas prices were high. Family trees. Daddy's home with the Trump ornament there. The Homer Simpson in a bush disappearing. The year we elected a convicted felon for president, 2024. So, of course, you're going to get a lot of political ones. And sell to both sides. Why not? You know, if the goal is to make money, definitely lean into that. So there's just a few. And I also wanted to show you guys here on Everbeat, you can click Tag Analytics, and this will yield some really great opportunities. It's not just factoring in sales data, but also competition data. So the first one here by rank, and it's ranking by keyword score over here on the right-hand side. So what I like to do is hover over, click the dots, and then click View in Etsy. And if you didn't know what Pickles was, well, it's that Nicolas Cage pickle-themed ornament, and it looks like pickle ornaments, pickle designs on koozies, pickle everything seems to be selling pretty well. So that's a tag that you might want to include if you're selling pickle-themed anything. Homer Bauble. That's a weird way to say B-A-U-B-L-E. Let's see. Yeah, I figured it was going to be the Homer Simpson. Again, it's the Simpsons, so I personally won't be selling anything Simpsons adjacent, but it is funny to have that ornament kind of disappearing into your Christmas tree. You can see Homer Bush ornament. Let's do one more. Dirty Berry Wood. Let's see what that one is. All right, you guys have to go search that one for yourself if you want to see it. It's not really YouTube friendly, but let's get back to it. I had prepped for this video and realized there's a lot of these stained glass ornate design styles selling really well on ornaments. I wanted to show you guys how quickly and easily we could do this because I saw there was a bestseller on both Amazon and Etsy in this theme. So I went to Google AI Studio here with Nano Banana. I said, create an ornate stained glass window design of a UFO abducting a cow in a round circular design. And this is what it returned. I made up the abducting a UFO. Oh, by the way, look at that. It even says the truth is out there. That's hilarious. So I removed the background. I loaded it up into Printify here so we could sell this on a metal ornament. By the way, I'm just showing you honestly how I would go about this, how I would start selling ornaments, because we talked, there's so many different types of ornaments, but I'm going to start with the one with the lowest fulfillment fees, meaning higher profit margins for me. And each niche that I sell in is going to dictate how I price. So I'm going to go look at, well, first I'm going to hit start designing right here, create this ornament in front of you guys. But I'm going to go look at my competition in the UFO Christmas ornament niche and base my price on that. You know what I mean? I might be able to charge more. I might be able to charge less. I'm going to go ahead and hit select variants, and I'm going to select round because I had optimized this in Google AI Studio to be in the round shape. I'm going to click my library, and then I've already got the design loaded up right there. How amazing does that look? In the top right corner, I can hit preview, and it's going to go ahead and show me what the finished product is going to look like. So don't feel like you can't compete. When you see some really high-end looking designs, you know, you've got AI to leverage. This may or may not be textured. It may be just an AI generated design that's printed on that looks like it's got texture, but it might not actually have texture when they get the finished product. Of course, when we send out this design, it's just going to be printed onto the metal ornament. There won't be any texture, but play the game. This is the game that is being played. And if you want to succeed as a print-on-demand seller and you see people crushing it with similar products, well, with Printify, you have the ability to list products that are just as good right next to them. Here's a few more of my favorite products to sell in the fourth quarter with great margins. Printify actually has a page called Holiday Picks that they curate for us, by the way. I went through it and selected some of my favorite print-on-demand products for the holidays. Starting with sublimation socks. These start at $5.12 for fulfillment. And I want to show you how easily you can sell custom socks for $19.99 all day. And I'm going to reference a design that I made last week in a video here where I took someone's photo and I cartoonized it. and was able to list it as a custom, I forget exactly what the product was, I think a phone case last week, but check that out. You just watched me do that in seconds. I click apply to all areas, then I click preview. You can charge $19.99 for socks like this all day. So there's really no excuse. Go get after it. That's a huge margin. And I'll link to that video in the YouTube cards right here in case you missed it. You want to see how easily you can do the same. The hardcover journals. Guys, I've sold so many of these in the fourth quarter specifically. You know why? Because I market them as office holiday party gifts, white elephant gifts. I set the context for people that buy and re-gift it in the keywords. And I was thinking about it. Maybe I should do another video specifically on this because I've sold single designs that were text-based that made me thousands of dollars of profit. No joke. I can even show you some of those designs. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do something like that. But here's the thing. It's going to be hard to do or harder to do on Amazon. On Etsy, you can have a field day with these because you don't have to compete with KDP if you've ever heard of that program. Fulfillment starts at $6.94. Candles. Now, I wanted to mention this specifically. There's a lot of different candles with different fulfillment providers on Printify. Make sure you look out for your profit margins. That is the theme of this video. So this candle right here, the scented soy candle 9 ounce, is a bestseller, but it starts at $10.17. I wanted to suggest that you consider, even though it's a different product, it is still a candle that we can sell as print on demand. The amber jar candle here starts at $7.43 with Printify Premium. So just consider it, guys. I just wanted to make sure that it's something we consider. The desk mat. Now, I am a lifelong computer gamer, so I always replace my desk mat every year. So I'm always a customer for something like this. They actually are very competitive with the pricing, starting at $8.17. If you click provider info, by the way, you can see that there's 3 different sizes. I personally like the bigger mats. The bigger mat's available for $11.67. You can sell that for $24.99 or $29.99. I always think in terms of if you offer customization, you can increase that price. And watch this. I'm going to hit start designing. An easy way to offer customization, just add a photo, something like this. Nice family photo. And then you've got your new mouse pad and you could charge $29.99 for that all day because of the customization aspect. You saw how quickly and easily I did that. The last things I wanted to share are blankets because think about it. It's fourth quarter. It's cold. Who doesn't want a nice blanket? Plus, if you lean into customization, nice way to justify higher price points. But the Arctic fleece blanket here starts at $9.33 with Printify Premium. You cannot beat that. Now, if you click provider info, there's a 30 by 40 inch, 50 by 60 inch, and a 60 by 80 inch. Definitely pass all of those along to the customer. Let them choose the size they want. But look at the pricing associated with each. There's big time, like anytime you can easily double the fulfillment cost, to me, that's big time in terms of profit potential. And I think that remains true for definitely the 30 by 40 inch. You could charge $19.99 all day. The 50 by 60 inch, I'd be charging $35 to $40. And the 60 by 80, I'd be charging $49.99 all day. And then just passing shipping along to the customer. And if I was going to sell the Arctic fleece blanket here, I would consider, at least on Etsy, combining the fleece Sherpa blanket designs, which you can do manually by just creating the product listing in Printify and then adding the SKU manually to your Etsy listing and having this as a more expensive upsell as a more premium product with the Sherpa blanket here. But you can see there's actually higher price points and 2 different sizes. The 50 by 60 inch starts at $21.32. The 60 by 80 inch starts at $27.75. So actually pretty similar in the ballpark there. But maybe some people prefer the Sherpa blanket. And again, that's another keyword you would be able to get indexed on just by offering that product. So also think there, you're excluding people by not having that keyword if somebody specifically is typing that into the search bar on Amazon and on Etsy. Oops, I almost forgot. I wanted to show you guys here. Same thing. I go to Amazon. I type in funny blanket. By using the word funny, by the way, it's going to help filter out some of the generic blankets and help me find actual keywords and designs associated with print-on-demand blankets. That's going to help me the most. So I wanted to share here, there's like a tortilla design on an all-over print on a blanket, a donut design, doing patterns here with like different animals, like silhouettes of animals. That's an easy one, guys. That's the approach I would probably do. More generic like pattern designs, probably not the best way to go about it because it's going to be hard to describe in terms of SEO unless you know what that pattern is called. Pizza blanket here, also pretty funny, pretty easy to do SEO on. And then a lot of these burritos and tortillas. So that will be my takeaway from Amazon. On Etsy, I also wanted to show you guys, we talked about how we can use the product analytics from Everbee, where they have over 130 million products to query. But check this out. We can also just perform a standard keyword search up here on Etsy. I typed in funny blanket. And then as you scroll, because I have the Everbee Chrome extension, you'll notice that underneath each design, I can see that like this listing right here is doing about 25 sales a month and is only 20 months old. Okay, I can keep scrolling and okay, Emma's bad bitch affirmations. So that's a custom blanket. I'm guessing the affirmations stay the same. And that did 12 sales. Well, it didn't do 12 sales in the last month, but it's averaging 12 sales a month and it launched 9 months ago. So you see, you don't get access to any of this data here without using Everbee. So it's very valuable. And if you're taking selling on Etsy seriously, I would just highly recommend at least try it. And especially in the fourth quarter, by the way, this is when you're going to make the most sales theoretically. And when demand is not theoretically the highest, you can validate that for sure. So it's the best time to honestly be dialing in your strategies for research, design, etc., and really just trying to find a workflow where you're creating listings regularly, because you're going to be rewarded for those listings and for the work you did in the months to come. So guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see that video on the journals marketed as gifts between coworkers. I think that's a great opportunity that gets overlooked quite often, far too often. So anyways, thank you for watching. Everything I mentioned, Printify with my code for a free month of premium, linked below. Merch Dominator for Amazon research, linked below. And Everbee for Etsy research, also in the description. Thank you for watching till the end, guys. Now is the time to dial in. You're going to be happy you did it. And I'll see you soon at the next video.